North Carolina's second inter-squad scrimmage leading into the season took place over the weekend. This was the Cherokee basketball scrimmage. Maybe you can shed some light on exactly what that means. I believe Cherokee is where this game was played, but it was blue versus white. North Carolina's players split up into two. The white team with a 65 to 53 victory. Seth Trimble had 18 points, leading his squad to the win. There are highlights available courtesy of Inside Carolina that you can get on YouTube. That's what we're going to break down today. We've both watched these and we'll bring you some takeaways from this. Don't believe there's a formal box score posted anywhere. I've seen some total points scored from certain guys. We may reference those, but no box score watching today for the box score watchers. This is just off of the visuals we've been able to find. What takeaways do you have for your team, Riley?
Gee, first off, it hurts my heart to have to correct you, but hashtag accountability. It was actually the blue team that got the 65 to 53 win. Set,
Oh, well, blame the Tar Heel Times then, because TarHeelTimes.com says the white team had a victory. How dare they?
well, the Tar Heel Tribune guy tweeted out the blue team takes a 65-53 over victory. The Tar Heel Times and the Tar Heel Tribune might be a little beef, trouble in paradise with these outlets that cover the team. But I do think the Tar Heel Tribune guy is right. R.L. Bynum, shout out to him. But that was a team that had Henry Vasar and Jaron Stevenson both had 13 points. Zayden High chipping in 14. That was really unexpected for me. I think from the clips we saw, I think the starting lineup of that had Stevenson at the three, High at the four, and Vasar at the five, which that's definitely something to monitor. I know our friends over at Inside Carolina, they have been reporting this back in May when Stevenson committed to UNC, that Carolina had visions of him playing the three. And I still don't know how I feel about that. I think it's nice to not have a 6'3" guy playing the three like Carolina had last year, but I still don't know how tenable that'll be like once real game action starts. But still, it was good to see Stevenson finally have a moment because he's been a guy who has been quiet in pretty much every highlight that Carolina has released this offseason. And even into the last blue and white game in the Dean Dome, he had maybe had 2 points. I think in that scrimmage they had at camp that we reacted to back in like June, he had somewhere like 2 or 3 points. So nice to see him finally break out and show that maybe there are some hopes of him reaching that recruiting pedigree he once had. He's a five-star kid in the class of, I believe, 2023, excuse me, 2024, and then reclassed to 23 and was a top 50 guy. But yeah, I thought in some of these clips you saw him knock down some catch and shoot threes, and where I thought his mechanics looked a little bit smoother. The jumper as a whole looked better than it did at Alabama. Him playing well was a big plus, but just like looking at the front court in general, I thought you got some really nice Vasar clips out of this one. Seeing High knock down a couple threes, always a good sight to see. But yeah, the bigs in this case to me were the story.
Yeah, I think they were the best players based on the limited stats that we've been able to see and the visuals that go along with them. It looked like Stevenson had a good performance, Zayden High a very good performance. Rumored 17 points for Zayden High in this game. Um, I think that's a good thing. I think if you're a Carolina fan, like what you'd be wanting to hear from this team is mostly our front court looks great. Not just because last year was so abysmal there, but also because I think those are kind of the more established pieces here. Like the questions on this team should be coming from the backcourt. If you were getting questions from the front court, you would be very concerned about the entire operation. So to come out of a scrimmage and feel like there were bigs on both sides that played really well, High, Stevenson's, Vasar, all on the same team, I would point out, and all being awesome. Then on the other side, you just had like Caleb Wilson and Seth Trimble. Now, if Caleb Wilson and Seth Trimble's team was the team that beat the team with all the bigs popping off, I also think that would speak to who's going to drive this team's ceiling. It's going to come down to just how great is Caleb Wilson and the forgotten piece, the most underappreciated player in America, Seth Trimble, who anytime we have a game like this leads the game in scoring, is the most productive player in it, and yet all you guys want to talk about is Derek Dixon and Isaiah Dennis, who combined for 6 points. Like Trimble is such a luxury to have back for this team. I'm glad he's showing out again.
Yeah, okay, we did get some good clips of Trimble, and Inside Carolina, I think, was the main ones that had the clips going around. I believed Tar Heel Tribune, our guy who tweeted out Blue won this game, he had clips on his YouTube channel, and I think Locked On Tar Heels tweeted out some clips too. So we're kind of trying to pick up the pieces where we can since there hasn't been an official like here's the full game broadcasted on YouTube. I don't know why it's frustrating for me. Like we go back to our gripes with Carolina social media and the way that they release things to the public in general, but I digress. But in those clips from the additional ones I saw, I believe Seth hit three pointers and one of them came at the top of the key in an ISO situation. So seeing him knock down a three like that was good. And the inside Carolina ones, I believe he had a corner three that came off a Derek Dixon assist. I mean, you might be right, G. He is someone who he has all the opportunity ahead of him. I just think Carolina fans, we watched him miss a lot of threes last year in conference play. We watched him take a lot of tough shots, which gosh, what's a good analogy for this? Like the more as we have done podcasting together, we pick up on each other's lingo. And it's like, oh, he's quote unquote special. That's like a sleepersism that's has pervaded the entire operation. Where I don't, it was probably Carter who first was saying that, or like an elite Jim Choon. That's another Carter Elliotism that you just pick up on being around him. I wonder if Seth Trimble last year, being on a team with Ian Jackson and RJ Davis and Elliot Cadeau, probably someone else I'm forgetting was just like, oh, all these dudes are like forcing up terrible shots. Like, I mean, I might have to get on the action. Like, if he can rein in the shot selection and understand a little bit even more of what his game is, which I've said this to my credit, even though you say he's underappreciated throughout the offseason, I've said if he can get comfortable in his role where he doesn't have to worry about the threat of a highly touted five-star kid breathing down his neck looking for his minutes, I think you could see him more comfortable and understanding who he is as a player and what he needs to do in terms of knocking down catch and shoot threes, taking the occasional three off the bounce, and then just trying to get downhill, and also knowing when to defer to the Caleb Wilsons and the Henry Vasars of the world. Then yeah, he's
Yeah.
going to be a really good player.
Listen, I think it's true in all walks of life. Who you're surrounded by and the role that you're trying to play within an institution is very indicative of what your results will be. You need to find spots that complement you. And this is true for any of the guards last year. It could be RJ Davis, who's back this year. It could be Cadeau. It could be Ian Jackson. It could be any of them. It just so happens to be Seth Trimble. But I think just the simple fact he's so clearly far and away the best guard on this team is going to give you the best version you've ever seen of Seth Trimble because he's going to have some on ramp to doing that on a night to night basis. It's like, I think we have a pretty great fit in terms of our lineup on sleepers right now. But I also am on pretty much every video playing the host role with somebody else that doesn't want to come in and play the host role and knows how to play off of me. And I know when I can call my shots. Like if I had to come on videos with like Pat McAfee, I'd be confused on what to do. I would feel like, oh, he's better than me at this. What am I supposed to do? So, that's life. That applies to everything, not just basketball. But I think there's been no indication this summer for anything Seth Trimble has done on a basketball court that we should not be expecting an all ACC player. Dion, you okay? You look a little sweaty.
So every August, September, my air conditioning breaks, and there's just nothing I can do about it.
Dude, that's tough. Out in California too. Like, I mean, what is it, like 80 degrees still there today?
Today's gonna be like 85, 90, but like peak summer, it gets like 110. My AC just doesn't ever hold up.
I mean, it sounds like it's a bummer that you can't take advantage of Duncan Mechanical Solutions because Duncan Mechanical Solutions is an HVAC company based in Angola, servicing the tri-state area, bringing commercial quality to the residential world with excellent customer service. You heard us talk about Duncan Mechanical last summer. If you need heating or air conditioning, kitchen or bath remodeling, or all of the above, Duncan Mechanical is the place to go in the Midwest. Go to DuncanMechanicalSolutions.com to take advantage and make sure you don't wind up like Dion. And I think that's what Carolina fans should kind of twist and want that to happen. I know the new stuff is fun, but like, let's let this guy be awesome and lead us from a scoring perspective because he's capable of doing it. I think it's a good thing Wilson's team won the scrimmage too. Again, I'm just going off limited highlights. There's not much to really take away, but I would want to hear that Caleb Wilson's winning and not just putting stats up. And that seems notable to me early here.
Well, did you see the Inside Carolina YouTube account? They post the highlight of him sizing up Jaron Stevenson and knocking down a step back three over him.
It's fun.
That was fun for me to watch. I like that he has that in his bag because he has the athleticism. I've been hammering this point home. I don't think people realize how good his touch is inside the arc because the jumper has been a question mark. I know he's never shot better than like I think he shot maybe 34% in high school and was in the 20s, high 20s maybe on the EYBL circuit a couple years ago. Let's gloss over that though for my king Caleb Wilson. So that was good to see him flex that. The other player I wanted to hit on though, G, you know who I'm gonna say?
It might be one of the three quick bullet points I have for you after this. Who?
Pookie.
Okay, so I want to play a game of how indicative is this of things to come this season? I have three. First one, Kyan Evans, 9 assists to 2 turnovers.
How indicative of is this for the upcoming season?
Yeah, like, is this an aberration? Is this a data point that is likely to be reproduced? Kyan Evans, who has largely been billed as a shooter, shoot only guy that's not going to like play make like crazy for this team. Attempted 4 total shots in this game, went 1 for 2 from three, only scored 5 points, but had 9 assists to 2 turnovers while every single good front court player was on his team eating. How indicative is that of things to come?
Uh, Yellow flag. Oh wait, wrong exercise. Somewhat indicative. I'm not expecting him to put up like even 5 assists a night, but if he can get you 3.5 to 4, I think Carolina fans should be very, very happy. But yeah, I know you saw that highlight, G, that baseline drive and the kick out to Vasar from the I think the right wing. That Vasar three was smooth. Vasar was firing. That was what got me most excited. And I think if I would actually like to see Pookie be a little more aggressive. Like I don't need just 2 3-point attempts. You shot 45% from beyond the arc last year. I want to see him. I don't know. You probably want him taking like 4 or 5 shots from three this year. I know you have other options in the backcourt and you're a front court heavy team. Like they ran a lot of the offense through the bigs again. Even Zayden High, we saw him get in on the 5 out action and initiating the top of the key. But still with Kyan Evans, just having a guard to flex that playmaking feel that I mean, if it's not an aberration, again, I'm not expecting 9 assists, but if he can have like an 8 or 9 assist game, like 4 or 5 times this season, that feels massive for Carolina.
It
They
was
don't need it
nice.
every night, but they just need that ability, you know?
Listen, awesome performance. 9 assists in this. Then the highlights back it up. There were some great plays from him. It's something I flat out have not seen from him yet. So he has my attention. Like if this can map, I think it'd be great. I think this would rewrite the way I view North Carolina, honestly, if they had a pass first guard that can also shoot 40% from three. I like that. Now I looking at the guys that he was with, right? They put all three of the good bigs on this team, if you don't consider Caleb Wilson a big. Like,
Hmm.
that's interesting to me. Was this their attempt at even teams?
Yeah, so what, you had Wilson and Seth on one team. I
You had
think,
Kyan, Bogavat, Stevenson, High, and Vasar?
yeah, that's kind of tough. That's like stacking the deck.
It would be like Dion doing a sleepers late night stream with like a Discord member at the same time that we're going live. Carter, me, you, Ryan Hammer, Tanner, and J Man. Like, oh yeah, that side won. That side actually outperformed our numbers. Okay.
Wait,
Like
no, I think the other side won. This goes back to was Tar Heel Tribune or Tar Heel Tar Heel Times right?
Trimble's team won.
No, I think Trimble's team lost.
Oh, then I've been missed. Then Caleb Wilson's team didn't win. Then everything I'm saying is wrong.
See, this is what happens when they don't give us the official stats. Like someone needs to do the Lord's work and put a box score out for us to react to. Instead, we're left with 2 minute highlight tapes here and there and reading discrepancies on stats.
Yeah. I mean, Inside Carolina doesn't even say who won. I don't think it just says who scored individual numbers. So yeah, I don't know. Disputed reports either way, but anyways, the point is one side felt like they had five of this is the second time they've done this, like five of the top seven players. So in that sense, like I'm not surprised. You put all three of the good bigs on one side opposite of James Brown and Kyan Evans had 9 assists. Like, wow. On the flip side, those three, Stevenson, High, and Vasar combined to shoot 7 for 10 from three. Like that only happens if Evans is making plays for them, and good on them for making the shot. So I think it's impressive. Hopefully this is a sign of things to come because I would take North Carolina a lot more seriously if so. Two more follow-ups for me in my little game here. How indicative is this of things to come in the future? Luka Bogovac, 1 assist, 5 points, very quiet performance on that same team with Kai and Evans and all the bigs.
He was nursing an ankle injury in the second half, per my sources.
Interesting. Interesting.
Or in this is speculative sources, but
Interesting. Okay.
I don't think he played much in the second half.
Okay. Then I have no comment.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Okay.
That and what he had over Caleb Wilson was tough.
Mm-hmm. You built
But
him
yeah,
as, you built him as the best guy on this team for a lot of this offseason, Riley.
I have a lot riding on Luka Bogovac playing up to his price tag.
Could
Yes.
happen. Could happen. High bar right now because Trimble and Caleb look pretty good. Front court looks pretty good. Kai and Evans looks pretty good. Luka's a rotation guy.
We'll see what happens on Friday.
Okay. Has there been a moment where it's been like, wow, Luka this offseason?
That clip they posted of his wraparound pass into a pull-up three, and I would say the blue and white game. I mean, he hit 4 threes in that one and just like was just splashing step back triples. That was pretty sick.
That's
But no,
that's the answer I was looking for. Four threes in an actual scrimmage setting. Okay. Got my attention.
no further comments.
Okay. All right. Last question. How indicative is this of a sign of things to come? Elijah Davis, 2 for 2 from 3 in this game.
I'm just ready to play against real opponents so we see less walk-ons.
Fair.
I've had enough walk-on footage for one summer.
Stock up, stock down, North Carolina based on this.
Stock neutral. I'm still withholding judgment.
Stock up.
You're going stock up.
Kai
Stock
and
up.
Evans had 9 assists, man. That changes things in a positive way, in a big way.
Yeah, I've been hurt before, G. I'm happy for you to be the optimist. You will certainly curry some favor with Carolina fans, while I will continue to take the bullets and the accusations that I'm not a true fan. Listen to G, believe the stock up if you will. As for me and my house, we're gonna wait and see.
Your front court combined for 46 points in this game. Yeah, just take the blue team, Kai and Luka, Stevenson, High, and Vasar, and replace Luka and Stevenson with Trimble and Caleb Wilson. Do exactly what those guys did in this game, and I think that team's insane.
Yeah, that's a good point. It is a compelling case for sure.
I'm in on it. We'll see.
We're gonna learn some things on Friday night. That's what I'll say.
I can't believe I'm buying Hubert Davis stock right now.